What's up, adventurers? Thanks for joining me today for a GM prep session live here on Twitch and YouTube. Hey, just want to let you know, to let me know if there's any issues getting in touch with me in the chat or anything like that. No, that doesn't make any sense. How would you let me know? Let me know if there's any issues with the stream so I can fix it. And also, don't forget to check out patreon.com/shortreststudios, where you can support this channel and check out Short Rest Studios on YouTube. I just Friday, released a video called D&D Cannot Handle Gandalf. And I knew it was a hot take, but it's turned out to be a little bit more of a hot take than I was thinking. So, but today we're going to do some GM prep for my Nimble RPG campaign. And if you're not familiar with Nimble, oh, my mouse just quit working again. There we go. Hey, swords and stones. How you doing? It's good to see you. Well, I know the chat's working, so because I can see you. Thanks for joining me today. I am going to hopefully let me know too if I will pause the 3D printer in the background if it's making too much noise here. We're going to jump into Obsidian in just a moment and do some notes and kind of look over what we've done previously. Last Sunday, I did some prep for this campaign also. And just to give you a little background on it, this is kind of a weird thing. Like, I have a regular every other week 5e campaign. I'm running Phandelver and Below the Shattered Obelisk with a group of really great folks. I have a group of folks that are friends of mine that aren't as, let's just say they aren't as into role-playing games as I am. And they include my wife and some friends whom I'm trying to get into the games, but we don't get together very regularly. But when we do, like, we've been trying out some different games. We started out playing D&D for a while, 5e for a while, and we kind of shifted over and tried some DCC, and I love DCC. I don't think they really cared for it. So, and that's okay, because there are tons of other game systems. So, and one of my other favorites for kind of different reasons, some similar, some different, is Nimble. Nimble is very streamlined. You have like exploding damage dice and just lots of stuff to really up the fun. And so I thought that they would really enjoy it would be easier for them to learn, because some of them are even newer than others. It would be easy for them to learn, and it would have still some of the super heroic stuff for like they're used, like you would get with D&D. Get into other systems as well. Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the best things I think you can do is try to go to conventions and just get in some games or find groups that are playing other games. I've been to a lot of conventions, but I haven't actually had a chance to play a lot because I was a vendor at a lot of them. And I would go and run games, like run different kinds of games, because I enjoy running games and I wanted the experience of running some of the different styles of games that I like. But I did, like, had a chance to play. I tell this story all the time. I played Shadowed Ark with Kelsey Dion a couple of years ago. Oh yeah. But you can always check. I mean, if you go to tabletop.events, there may be, I don't know if that's available, if that's worldwide stuff. I think it is, but there may be stuff that you aren't aware of that's going on. But yeah, conventions are, or if there's a local game store, I mean, there might be folks running all kinds of different games. Yeah. Yeah, tabletop events will tell you, I know that I can find events all over the country, so it's really cool. And there are some events, like the bigger events aren't on there. It's really a lot of the smaller ones, which quite honestly might be more fun anyway. So let's jump over to, I just need to check my browsers real quick and make sure everything is up and running. This is what I'm going to do, though. I am going to, well, let me make sure I get the website right before I drop a link in there, because I was going to give you guys a link to, yeah, to Nimble. If you're interested in checking it out, I'm giving you a link there in the chat to their website. And the creator is a really cool guy. Full disclosure, he is a supporter of this channel, but our relation and a friend, but our relationship actually began by me falling in love with Nimble. So, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Starter PDF is always a good place to start. Okay, let me get back to my OBS here so I can see what's going on with that, and we will switch over. Is this the one I want? Yeah. I'm gonna switch over to Nimble, or Obsidian. Okay. So here are all my characters, all my player characters. I'm going to zoom it in a little bit so you guys can see it a little better. And one of the things that I do want to do, and I'm not going to necessarily do it, so I never really finished the story I was telling. So basically, I have this group of people who we don't get together a lot. We've tried some different systems. We're actually continuing a campaign that we began in DCC. Okay, so we played a 0 level funnel in DCC, and then we played a first level adventure in DCC, and they picked a direction to go. And this campaign is kind of built around the direction they chose to go after that with their characters after that DCC game. But just the way that sort of the first, like they enjoyed the story and the environment, but the game system, I think, was beginning to wear on folks a little bit. And plus, they're kind of cool because they'll go along with, I can just pick a system and they'll go along with it. So that's nice. But so what's happening is now we do have one character that's going to be meeting them for the first time in the first session. And so what I'm doing today is I'm actually I had an idea for this encounter, and it's not a super original kind of encounter, but I want to try to make it something a little bit different. But I'm working on all kinds of stuff right now too. I mean, I'm painting miniatures, and like I've got these right here are 4 of my players' minis, primed and ready to go. Ready to get painted. One of them is in the garage right now because I just sprayed it with sealer. But we're going to draw a little map today. We're going to do all kinds of fun stuff. And I'm actually going to hand draw a map, which I'm a terrible artist. So, this ain't going to be like watching Dyson Logos Twitch. But, oh yeah, so many systems. I have so many that I have read, but I have a lot that I haven't read yet. Somebody broke this pencil. So these are the characters. We have Frelin is a rat folk. Cheat is the rogue class in Nimble. Gwen there is a dragonborn hedge witch. No, that's what I equated it to. Hexbinder. That's one of the Nimble classes that's not in the original. That's not in the core rules. It's one of the newer ones. Shodan is a dragonborn monk. Jax is a celestial barbarian, so that'll be fun. Alana is an elf bard, and Kiki is a Stotling hunter, so she's a ferret. So that's the mini I just painted. So, but just to give you a little quick recap, this is I've titled this campaign "The Treasures of Imbosheth." It's an ancient Egyptian themed campaign. I've got a little, this is some of the stuff I've been working on painting for it. Maybe you can see that little statue of Osiris. And the first part of it was they're not quite done with it, is a sort of a journey through these barrier islands. This this empire was cursed by the gods and hidden away off in like a pocket dimension. So they have to go through this chain of barrier islands that's hidden, and that's going to take them to a final sort of encounter with a sphinx. And they're going to answer the Sphinx's riddles, which if you get on YouTube, you can see my last prep stream for this, and I talked a little bit about. Actually, I fleshed out how those riddles were going to work and what they were going to be. I don't think that riddles, like if you're going to use riddles in your game, you get to do some special things with them, because you don't want people just sitting there going, okay, what, and then feeling dumb because they can't solve a riddle, because that's not really a fun part of the game. But so they are approaching now. They're about to approach the Sphinx in that, and then they'll be transported through a portal into the city of Nur, which is the capital of the lost empire of Imbosheth. And it's going to be all the characters except the new one. And normally I wouldn't do it that way. I don't want her sitting there too long. And if something happens, like I already have a plan, if that something may happen and cause them to, like if they fail at the Sphinx's riddles, they get transported to another one of the islands where they begin to lose their memories. And if that happens, then I'm just going to find another way I'm probably going to drop the Stoatling Hunter there on the island with them. And just, oh, you guys don't remember anything, but for some reason you think you've been with this person the whole time or something. But if not, I had sort of a fun idea, I think, for this encounter. If they were 10 inches tall. Yeah. You can get them bigger. And listen, I'm not a spring chicken, right? I have to use one of these guys. And I probably need something better than this. I can't see what I'm doing. Smaller, bigger minis are easier in some ways. Like, I got this red dragon back here I painted. In a lot of ways it was easier. A lot of ways it was more challenging. But all right. So here's what we're going to do. So I've been working on all kinds of stuff here, and this is my Obsidian notes. And if you're a supporter on Patreon at the Adventurer tier, which I think, for another week, for one more week, you can get that at half price. That tier at half price, you get my full campaign notebook. And when I'm done here tonight, I got a friend's birthday party to go to, but maybe tomorrow I'm gonna send this over to the Patreon and update it, because the notebook is there, my whole campaign notebook, but I will need to update it with these notes. So, did not mean to close that. So you can see I've got lots of stuff in here, cults and all kinds of stuff. I've been doing a lot of world building, and I'll continue to do some world building, because you don't necessarily have to have all that stuff right away, right? But let's go to session prep. This is session 2. I'm calling it session 2. And this is a wonderful thing. I actually just used Obsidian. I used a easy little command here to pull in all the characters. And so basically my strong start, I kind of have 2 strong starts in this one. I don't know what's going on. It won't let me scroll. Okay. My mouse isn't working quite right there. It's a different mouse than I normally use, so I'm going to grab my trackpad here. That's better. All right. So the Phantom Yawl is the boat that they're on, and they're going to kind of sail through this fog bank into this onto this island where the Sphinx and her griffin guards are. There's stuff missing here. did I put it in? Maybe I put it in here. Oh, there's the riddles. Okay. Okay. All right, so this is the notes for the trial of the Sphinx here. That's good. You know, I'm already getting things mixed up. So, and then we're only going to go through the portal and we enter the city, and this is kind of what they see. Okay. They step through the dazzling shimmer of the portal. You're assaulted by a cacophony of sound. You find yourselves on a crowded city street. Bodies pressed tightly against you. Voices in varying stages of frustration come from every direction. The smells of sea air, stale fish, strong spices, and sweat nearly overwhelm you. I love to throw in like scents in there because that can really help with immersion. And then I just give myself a little bit of detail about the geography. Oh, cool, man. I'm glad you could find some stuff. So this is what we see. We're surrounded by crowds of people, but then all of a sudden a fight is going to break out. And I'm going to put the character's name in here. Or not. I'm in a reading view. Well, I took it off of reading view and it's still not letting me type. Come on, there we go. Actually, let me do this. No, I won't. I forgot. It's not in its own note, so I can't do that. So, and my folks are good about, you know, not being butts and being like, oh, I'm not going to help. So, and they're going to be dealing with some bandits. Now, my idea here was that I have my overhead camera connected, and yep, I knew this was going to happen. Thing keeps falling down. You guys can't see it, but it keeps falling down. My setup's a little different than it has been in the past. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I can't get it to stay up at all now. Okay, well, all right. So we won't use that. It's just completely fallen down now. Like it was working just fine. All right. So essentially what I'm going to do here is they're on a city street. I'm drawing a city street and I'm not even trying to keep it on the grid. This is really just for me. So they just came through a portal. The street, let's say they're at a corner. They're basically at a corner. The street extends forward, straight forward from them. It's crowded. There's people everywhere. So many people they can't move through. And it extends to their left, which would be west. I really wish I could get this thing to come on. I'm going to try one more time because I feel like you guys listening to me talk while I draw is not super helpful. Come on. Apologize for this. It just won't. I don't know what's going on with this thing, man. It was on there perfect, and then just quit staying upright. And I just can't. I can't get it to. I'm shoving it up in front of my camera now. Okay, I tell you what. I'll see if I can do it like this. I'm going to just have to hold this thing because I want you guys to see what I'm doing here. So let me transition over. So this is the street, and the little wavy lines are meant to represent the fact that there are people everywhere. Okay, this is the portal. And our party, 5 of them, are here, and then there's Kiki here with probably like at least 6 of these guys around her. I just drew 7, but that's 8, but that's okay. I might actually need to use 8. So Kiki is surrounded by these guys, and they're fighting her. So my idea is that there's some things that can happen. Let's say there's a business here, like a little shop. All the port and all that stuff is over this way. Let's say there's like a little shop there, a little bakery. And there's going to be a bigger one here. It's a tavern. It's called the Blind Bedouin. And it's going to be an important location further down the road. And then there's more buildings and stuff over here. So my thought is all of this. So there's alleyways. I should have drawn these. I started drawing it thinking you guys weren't going to be seeing it, so I didn't even try to stay on the grid, which is the whole reason that I had graph paper to begin with. So these are alleyways, but they all end because there'd be another. I mean, some of them could probably go into other streets, but let's say they don't. Let's say there's a wall here. There's just a wall here because maybe there's a bigger building back there. And so we got these alleyways, and this is all difficult terrain because of all the people. So that means that even in Nimble, it means it's going to be harder for them to... Sorry, my camera is not focusing. Oh, because I'm holding it on the side that the camera's on. That's why. Yeah. Well, and I can't help that because I'm left-handed, so I have to use my left hand for the pencil. All right, so this is my idea. They've got all these places that they can go. Like these guys are attacking Kiki. They can come fight. The guys can run away. But everybody has to deal with the crowd, right? And so I thought, this is cool. This is kind of a different idea, different kind of encounter than what they've had to deal with before. And they've got, I'm fully prepared for somebody to run into a shop or into the bakery. I'm going to say there's only one entrance. There's only the front entrance. Except for the Blind Bedouin. And you know what? Let's say there's another alley. Oh, sorry. Put my hand in the way, as usual. Okay, let's say there's another alley back here. There's an alley here, alleys here, alley back here, and there's a wall with another building on the other side of it there. So I can let them get a little ways, you know what I mean? And then have sort of some traveling adversaries. Because one of the other things that's going to happen is that the city guard is going to show up at some point, and there's going to be 5 or 6 of those guys, and they're going to be a little bit tougher to deal with. Okay. And these guys, the guard, are going to present them with a quest because they're actually under the command of let's say a spy master who's trying to figure something out. So there's my idea. And so this is the initial conflict that they're going to have. So let me switch back over, and we won't use this view again for now. All right. And I'm gonna disconnect this, because what's the point? I'm gonna figure out a way to get that back up there though, because I do need to. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. All right. I'm going to figure out how to do that, because I would like to do some painting and crafting stuff for you guys once in a while. So, disconnect that camera so I can see my phone. All right, so I've drawn my map. So I kind of have an idea how this is going to go. And what I want to do, I'm going to go back real quick here to my session prep notes, and this is my strong start. And I've got a link to it here. I've linked to that note. Okay. So I almost feel like this is going to have 2 strong starts. So basically, they're going to do this whole riddle of the Sphinx thing. They're going to step through the portal, and there's going to be Kiki. And I'm fully expecting that we may only get through this battle, and that's it. I don't want to make it too tough. And so I may do some things like bring in the city guard to actually maybe catch some of the bandits, some of the criminals, the ruffians who are beating up on Kiki, that kind of thing. But here's what we're gonna do. So, man, I sure thought I put some other stuff in here. I put it all over here. So yeah, it looks like I put it all over here. So this is the other part that may happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark down, let's see. Crowd creates, if I can type, creates difficult terrain. Okay. The let's say the city guard and other ruffians are on patrol, and so there are obstacles, and we can do some fun things like throw in like food carts and things like that as obstacles. And these are things that I feel confident enough that well, let's say food carts as obstacles, that makes sense, but I feel confident enough I could improvise these. But like there would be something like, I don't know, piles of refuse in the back alley that are in the way. They get in their way, because that's not difficult terrain like the street is. Let's say like 1 to 2 piles of refuse in the back alley, which are obstacles that they have to work around, or that they could use as cover, or any number of things. So And this main, so this street curve, they're on a corner, so it wouldn't make any sense for that to be a corner. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it needs to be just an intersection, because the port is going to be this way. Well, I'm saying this way, but you can't see what I'm doing. So the port is to the east. But of course, hopefully they won't go that way. But if they do, I'll just take what I put on the west and flip it over to the east. I think that'll work. Do this. There we go. Okay, so now here are some things that, let's go back to the session 2 prep notes. Okay. Gorilla Sphinx through the portal and into the city of Noor. Actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this instead. I'm going to put okay. Oh no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it like that. I just want to link to it. Okay. So I'm putting this link here. That's going to be our first scene. Then the next scene is through the portal into the city of Noor, and encounter with Kiki and ruffians. And then once that's over, then there's going to be the encounter with City Guard. And what I said the last time was, so through the portal into the city of Noor. So interesting. It just made me a note named that. I knew it would do that. So let's get back here. This is not what I want. Come on, man. I'm looking right at it. That's why. Okay. Yeah, duh. Sometimes I forget what I did, and you know. And this is going to be A1. Entering the city. Okay, and then the next one is going to be A1, A1A, which is the city guard, presenting them with the mystery. Okay, and I'm gonna go over here real quick because I want to change a little bit about this. So I've created some NPCs, but one of the things, and this is the mystery. This is the mystery. This is going to be sort of the next thing that they do, and they'll get started on it hopefully, but they won't finish it. I'm designing it to be a single session, but just because of the thing with the Sphinx, and they're still sort of learning the rules, and so am I, to an extent, that we're probably not gonna make it through both of these. It would be cool if we did, but the spy in the Thieves Guild, find out what happened, city guard, back alley. And there's some mysterious government official. Okay, I couldn't remember how I named him. Let's call him Spy Master. And I'll create a more of a robust NPC for him, maybe, if I feel like I'm going to bring him back. So, all right. So when you can see, we've created some NPCs in here. I haven't put them in their own notes yet, but what I want to do is go back to session 2, and I'm going to put in NPCs, and I'm just going to put what I have for them now. It's like he's mysterious. We don't know a lot. And then this one's going to be Runt, who is a Thieves Guild contact / informant. Saratha, who's a Thieves Guild assassin. And I've got more information on these NPCs, but I don't need to put it all here because I know it and I have the information elsewhere. And they are probably not going to figure into... They may figure... Well, Runt may. Saratha probably won't. And then, of course, there is Burler, who is the owner of the Blind Bedouin. Which I think I will try to work him into this story a little bit, because he is an NPC I took some time creating. All right, potential monsters are just going to be the bandits. I don't know if we're going to get probably not getting any treasure this time. So, secrets. So one of the things, it's going to be hard at this point for my PCs to know many secrets, because this is an empire that's been lost to the rest of the world for thousands of years. So them knowing anything about it beyond what other people would already know in the world is unlikely. Extremely unlikely. So unlikely as to be impossible. So, but there will be things like Runt has a tattoo that Frelin, as a criminal, recognizes it. It's an ancient Thieves Guild. I do that all the time. Thieves Guild symbol. So she's going to know when she meets Runt that he is for sure connected to the Thieves Guild. Now, I don't think we're going to get all the way. I don't think we're going to get much past the city guard. If we do, then we will move on to the Thieves Guild, probably most likely at some point. And I have some ideas for that, but I'm not ready to flesh those out. But if I have to Friday night in my game, I will. So I have enough of an idea in my head that I think I can do it on the fly if I need to. So Frelin is going to recognize that. What else could there be? I don't think I have anyone who is Let's see. He's an emissary. So he's he's got a background that might lend to him recognizing things about people in government. And so let's say this so originally I thought I was going to put captain of the guard, but it didn't make any sense for him to be the captain of the guard. But let's go ahead and say the captain of the city guard, who is actually a spy master. He introduces himself as the captain of the city guard. But let's say Shodan. Let's say Shodan senses that the captain of the guard is something else. But how is he going to do that? Let's just say the way he evades questions makes Shodan believe he's a spy. And so initially this was going to be we need you to find our spy who's missing. But now I'm thinking maybe they don't come out and say that. Maybe they don't come out and say that. Maybe it's who could it be? Who could it be? What do you guys think? Let's see. How about a... How about this? Their spy and the Thieves Guild has stopped communicating. Okay, that's actually what's happening. You guys, there's a tiny little screw that I dropped the other day when I was working with something, and I just found it. And it's funny because I found it the other day. Found it Friday, and then I kicked it. Flew away and I couldn't find it again. And I think I've just lost it again. Oh my gosh. It's a little black screw and it's in the carpet, so there it is. I just can't quite get to it because it's up under the desk. Haha. There it is. That's been driving me nuts for a few days. How about that? So here's what I'm thinking. What they say is, See, a special envoy. I'm just pulling something out of the air here. It may not make a lot of sense if they try to dig too far into it. A special envoy from the Emperor's court. Court has disappeared. And they want them to find out what happened. But it's actually their spy in the Thieves Guild has stopped communicating. So I kind of wish I could connect this with the Thieves Guild. So I think if Shodan figures out that that this guy's a spy, then they're automatically going to think something's up. They believe the Thieves Guild has him. So we're going to get rid of the kill him if he's turned part. And we're just going to say rescue him and bring him to the city guard headquarters, and they'll give him directions. Okay. And so the first place they're going to point him is to Runt, who's going to... The problem is the Thieves Guild is in a hidden location, and the government knows where the Thieves Guild is. Perhaps everyone doesn't. Perhaps the city guard doesn't. But higher ups in the government. And they want these guys to go and take care of this thing. Okay, so here we go. All right. And so I've already created the whole mystery here. That's what I did last time. But here's a couple of things I want to do. I want to go back here to here. Okay. And I want to create kind of a roster of enemies. And let's say there are... Let's do this. Let's say that there are 4 ruffians attacking Kiki. And if the battle starts to go well for the party, then some more are going to show up. And I do have all the Nimble rules here, but I've had a hard time finding stuff I'm looking for. There we go. So what I want, 3, okay. Add up the total levels of the heroes. So they're all level 2, and there's 6 of them, right? That's 5 of them. 5 of them, so 10. Monsters with a total level equal to that will be hard but fair. Will be a hard but fair fight. Less than that, medium. So basically, a total monsters with a total level of 10 will be a fair fight. And I actually wouldn't mind this being a fairly easy fight. At the same time, if the Sphinx thing goes really smoothly, then I kind of want it to be a challenge. So I want to leave myself the option to beef it up, right? But do I want it to be hard? Yeah, I think maybe I do, just because it's going to be it's not going to be deadly or very deadly. It's just going to be hard. And I think that's what I want. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. So let's see. So I need the encounter level to be 10. So let's go see. The problem with this is, let me go look at 5e conversion. Okay, this is one of the great things about Nimble, is that you can convert pretty easily things from 5e to Nimble. And Nimble is actually they just completed a Kickstarter for a new monster book, which I did back, and you may still be able to do late pledges. Excuse me, I had to yawn. So you might still be able to do late pledges for that, but it's cool because I've got tons of stuff. I've got one of Cobalt Press's Tome of Beasts. I've got 2 different monster manuals for D&D. I mean, I got access to a bunch of stuff, right? That's 5e specific, and so as I can convert that pretty easily. But monsters is really pretty easy. You just have to you basically just get rid of everything except a couple of characteristics, right? But what I don't know is how that, I don't necessarily know how that converts to the level, like how challenge rating. See, that's in that's in there. I also have the lazy DM stuff in here in this vault because I use it a lot. So all of that is from the lazy DM. So yeah, I need to know how that works. Well, you know what? You know what I actually may be able to do? Let's see here. Let's go back over here and goodness. I can never for the life of me remember. There we go. I don't know why I have such a hard time with this part. And look, now I've got a random note with today's date on it. All right. So what I need to look for, I need to go back to the Nimble rules. And let's look at... It's a legendary monster builder. Monster builder. There we go. There we have CR equivalents right there. So what I need to do, so that's right there in the monster builder. I'm going to go here, right here, entering the city. Okay, so I've got my bandit, and this is a 5e bandit redone for Nimble, is what you're looking at right here. Okay, so basically I stripped away everything. And I think that level is actually the CR, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think I changed anything because I did not know what to do here. I have played Nimble and I've read it a lot, and but this is the first time I'm really getting into like building a campaign from scratch in it. So there's certain things that, you know, I haven't played it that much, so certain things that I gotta look up, man. You gotta look it up. That's why we got the books, right? Come on. Index of stat blocks. Okay. Thought I was on the back somewhere. Here we go. Challenge of 1/8. I don't know where I got that 1/3 from. Did I, or was I just making something up? Or maybe this bandit, is there a bandit in here? I don't think this is a... Oh yeah, there is just a bandit in here. Okay, I get confused. There was something else that I was converting. That's what it was. There's something else that I converted. It wasn't the bandits. So if it's a third, like, we need something stronger than this. Bandit assassin is level 2. Bandit bruiser is level bad. So I had originally thought bandit hunter level 1. He's like a ranged kind of guy. Bandit minion, which, yeah, I'm gonna have some minions in there. So I need something more than your typical bandits. I mean, even if I put 4 of those guys against Kiki, she could take him out pretty easily. Yeah, the bandit hunters don't have a melee weapon. The bruisers are level 2. So what I might do, I think what I might do is take this bandit hunter, use those guys. I'm going to use those guys, and oh, that's not what I meant to do. Let's go back here, and we're going to do this. Putting that little exclamation point there makes it actually bring the note into this node. So, but what I'm going to do is give them a dagger instead, or something, some kind of weapon that's better than that. Not better than that, but that's a melee weapon. So let me go to, so we're going to say there's 4 of those guys. Now let's do this. These guys are level 1. Let's say there's a bandit hunter. And if we did a bandit hunter and three bandits, now that would be a rough fight for Kiki. Like she would be a fair fight. Okay. And it'd be pretty easy. Okay. So there's one bandit. Let's see. No, I'll put that up here. Okay. Yep. One bandit hunter. 3 bandits. And we're going to give the bandit hunter a different weapon. He's going to have a melee weapon. So from equipment, weapons. Okay, so the battle bow is pretty rough. It's a pretty rough weapon. It's not even in here. Okay. So let's go back to our encounter here. 2d8 plus 2, range 12. So, and if you don't, sorry, I bumped the microphone. If you don't know, Nimble uses spaces for movement rather than, or for distance rather than feet. So, but it's 6 spaces, each space is 5 feet. So it works out kind of the same as D&D. They just do away with talking about it in feet, so you don't have to do that little bit of math in your head. Okay. Oh. Well, now I gotta find my weapons again. Okay, so it does 2d8 plus 2. That's pretty rough, man. But I want something. I want something similar, but there's not anything similar in here. So longsword does 1d8 plus strength. One-handed requires 2 strength. You get a battle axe that does 1d10. Great maul that does 1d12. That seems like overkill for a bunch of bandits, doesn't it? Because the problem is, if they don't have a strong enough weapon, how about this? There's 3 of these guys well, see, but they're in a situation where it wouldn't really make any sense for somebody to be trying to attack them from a distance. So I think what I'm going to do, here is give them 2. I'll give her 3 bandits and 2 bandit hunters, but they're not able to use their bows. They're going to use long swords. Okay, but they can't use their bows because they can't. There's no way they can do this at a distance. So we're going to say 2 bandit hunters. And 3 bandits, okay? And what's going to happen here is, why is this like this? Why is it like it's in one thing? Okay. Okay. Actually, I should do this in italics. Well, it didn't italicize everything, so that's good. And I got to do this not bows, okay, for this encounter. So okay, that's interesting. Oh, because of this right here. So okay, so the longsword is 1d8 plus, we're going to say plus 2. I'm assuming is probably what that is. And I'm fudging this because I don't have anything to actually work off of here. I mean, I could try converting a bandit from 5e. I could do that. Oh, I wanted the monster builder. Okay. So a third would be a fourth. So it would actually take... No. I'm reading this the wrong way. So bandit in 5e. In 2014 5e, I believe was a 1/3 or 1/8 CR. Just gotta go find him again. Okay. Yeah, he's a 1/8. So, and you got an assassin, which is a much, has a CR8, much higher. You got bandit captain. There's a 2, which would be the equivalent of a level 4 or 5, depending on what kind of attack they had. I mean, you know, I suppose I could just give this guy a longsword and make it do the same damage as a battle bow. I think that might be the way I want to go. Yeah, because there's not anything I'm feeling like I want to pull in from here, especially since there are already bandits available, right? Okay, so I'm going to go back here. I'm changing my mind about this guy. I'm going to do 1 bandit hunter and 3 bandits. And I'm going to delete this. And we're just kind of... And I'm just going to put same damage, okay? 2d8 plus 2. Range 6. 6. Because that's melee range. Well, no. We're going to call it not range 6, melee, okay? I don't really need to note that. I don't know why I did, but... Okay, so... That means that this is a level 2 encounter. Now what's going to happen is we've got, let's say... We don't want it to add up to more than 10. So we can bring in, so this guy, the Bandit Bruiser, is level 2. So I mean, I could bring in a few of these guys. He's a level 4. I mean, a bandit minion. The cool thing about minions in Nimble is that they hit them, they get hit, they die, they're gone. so if you want your guys to just be able to mow through some guys, then you just throw a bunch of minions in there and they can kill them. So, but they count them as a quarter of a level. So let's hang on to that thought, because what I'm thinking is I don't think we want to throw a bandit captain in there. I think that's a little too much. I actually think that since I'm thinking about this now, I want to go back to my mystery. She's not going to be a bandit assassin. Saratha, I have Saratha marked down as a bandit assassin. But I think I want to make her a bandit captain. D20 minions with daggers. That'd be so at a course. So that she's a level 4. I'm all over the place here, guys. I know, I'm sorry. So, I mean, and so that leaves them 6 additional levels. So that would mean like 12 of those guys. So to make it a fair fight, and I can always bring in more, right? Okay. Well, let's go back to this. So we got a bandit hunter with a longsword. Hey, my print's done. Get ready for the song. Dude, I'm printing, guys. I'm printing these, and I know the color is horrendous, but there it is. I have all this flesh colored. I was going to print something in particular multicolored. So I have all this flesh colored filament. And since I'm going to paint them anyway, I'm using it. But these really Death X tiles, I don't know if you've heard of these guys. They do magnetic dungeon tiles. So they have they make these sets, 3D printable sets, and there's a base that you can put magnets in, and the tile itself sits in the base, sits on top of the base, and it's got like a little thing that kind of holds it in there. But they're magnetic, so they hold together, and you can just swap out tiles and use the same bases for different tiles, so different sets. So I'm printing up a bunch of those, and I'm printing them pretty high quality because I want them to look really nice. All right. Anyway, sorry, got a little distracted. I always get excited when a print finishes. So what we've got here is our bandit hunter and 3 bandits, and 3 bandits, and that's 2. That's like a level 2 encounter, and what we need is a level 10 encounter. So we've got like 8 more levels to add in here. So, and given the space, this will be interesting. Okay. So the cool thing is, what I'm going to do is have these guys kind of wander around, and I may have to do this later, is to create kind of a roster and sort of like figure out where they are and how they get there. Agile Monk, hey, what's going on? I just saw you showed up. Appreciate you being here. I'm sorry, I just saw your chat, your entry into the chat. So thanks for showing up, man. All right, so if the battle starts to go well for the party, so we've got other, let's say, patrolling enemies. Okay. Now I want to throw some city guards in here. The thing is, if they kill those guards, that can be a problem, right? So, although it could just give the spy master a good blackmail material to get them to do what he wants them to do. So I got 8 more levels that I need to do. So maybe I do want a bandit captain in here. I don't think I do though. But if we do some bandit bruisers, and those guys are level 2, so I mean, if you've had a couple of those guys, so if I look at my map that I drew earlier, which unfortunately I can't show you because my whole overhead camera thing just sort of collapsed on me. I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 alleyways that are traffic free. And I could just station these guys in some of these alleys, like for sure in that back one. And of course, if the party runs or anything, then the other bandits can follow them as well, right? So let's say let's do this in the back east west alley, and I'll know what that means. We got. Do I want to put 2 of these guys here? I think 2 bandit bruisers. And let's go back down to our monsters. Our foes, rather, bandits. The bandit captain is just, he's too much, I think. So he said 2 bandit bruisers, that's 4. So I still need 4 more levels of guys. We could do a bandit assassin. Poison blade. I don't know if I want to bring an assassin in. Thematically, that doesn't feel like what I want here. Really, these guys are just random baddies. So not the assassin. And this guy, so that means I would need... So if I got 2 bandit bruisers, that's 4. So in order to get another 4 levels, I would have to have 12 of these guys. But you know, I don't have to. I could just do another... if I did another 3 of those, that would make this 5 levels. Let's do that. Let's do that. And then I'm going to add some guards in there into the mix. Forgot where I was going. Okay. And then we're going to say 2 bandit hunters and 3 bandits. And I don't need to put more bandits. I don't need to put bandits on here again because I have their stat block right there. So I've got level 1/3, so that means my bandit hunter and my 3 bandits, that's 2. That's 2 levels of encounter to begin with. And then 2 bandit bruisers, which gives me 4 more levels, so that's 6. And then 3 bandits is 7. So I've got 3 more levels. So let's see. I don't know if in Nimble here there is a guard. I mean, I could just use... I can just use the bandits again, to be honest. I can use that same stat block, which probably is what I'm going to need to do here. Yeah. I'm just going to do that again. So here's what we're going to do. And if I need to, I can throw some minions in there too. Some more minions. So the guards, well, you know what? What'd I say? I've got 7, so I need 3 levels. If I took away that one, if I took away one of those bruisers and added, if I took away a level, then that would be 4 levels left. Yeah, I can't use a captain. Well, I want to use the, I can use a, I want him to feel different. You know what I mean? I want him to feel different than the bandits feel. I don't want them to feel like they're fighting the same guys. And I could use the guard stat block from 5e. Which is going to be similar. Which is going to be similar, but they have a spear, so you know. I'm just trying to think of something that would. That would make it feel a little bit different. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull in, or you know what? Just to make my life easier. Bandit captain's a level 4, so that's gonna make it too much. I just need 3 levels. So if I did an assassin, but I took away the undamaged dazed, because that's the poisoned aspect of his blade. If I use that, let me see here. So I want to give him a different weapon. So he's got a poison blade he can use twice that does 1d8 plus 2. He gets 2 attacks with it. Gotta find the weapons again. Here we go. Okay. It's 2 attacks with that. But it makes no sense for a guard to have a knife, you know. I mean, they could have spears as melee weapons. Really and truly, a spear is a melee weapon. A javelin is a thrown weapon, as a ranged weapon. Go back to my monster builder here. defaulted D8, so that makes sense. But let's say we want these guards. Let's we got 3 levels left, and if I wanted to do, I mean, I can make them a half, right? I can make them each a half and do 6 of them. And we're going to get all these guys involved in the fight at some point. I think that's what we'll do. I think we're just going to go with this right here. This is one of the things I love about this, man. Such simple rules for creating your own foe, right? So we're going to go here, and there's going to be, and patrolling enemies. We got a back east-west alley. We got 2 bandit bruisers. 2 bandit bruisers with 3 bandits, which is, yeah. And then coming up the street, and they will follow 6 city guards. And those guys are, these are there, so level city guard is level 1/2. And now I don't know what all these numbers are. I don't even need this number. But he's going to do, they're in at level 1/2. HP is probably that 18 right there. I got to go back now because I don't know. All right. Okay. Medium armor. I'm just going to keep things easy for myself for this one. I feel like they would have medium armor, so they'll have 15 hit points. Okay. I don't know what to do. I'm just copy all this stuff right here. All right. Oh my gosh, I'm all lost in my NPCs again. All right. So I'm going to delete this, and I'm just going to paste this in here. Okay. So he's got, so they're going to have 15 hit points. They're going to have medium armor. 1d6 plus 3 spear. Let's say spear. Goodness, spear attack 1d6 plus 3. And it's melee. Okay. And I'm just going to put this stuff in case I need it. Okay. All right. And then I can just delete this. Now I can't get rid of it. Okay. All right. That's my city guard. So there's going to be 6 of those guys, right? So that's a half. So that makes three levels. Then here we got 2 of these guys, 2 bruisers, which makes another 4, which is 7, and the 3 bandits, which makes it 8. And then up here, 3 more bandits, which makes it 9, and the bandit hunter, which makes it 10. Okay. All right. So we've created that encounter. So that should be a fun little fight with some variety around it and that kind of thing. So Cool. I'm going to go back to these session prep notes now. I kind of want them to know that this guard captain guy is actually a spy, so I'm going to say that Shodan, because of his experience as an emissary, senses that the guard is, that the captain of the guard is a spy because of the way he evades questions. I'm going to say that Kiki let me see something here. I'm not above just letting them know things that their characters might know because of abilities that they have. I've already given Frelin a secret. Went too far. She actually wrote a backstory. I don't have any backstory for her. Okay. We don't have to give all the characters secrets or anything, but, I like to try to see what I can do. So, if those guys, they'll kind of know. They'll know something's up. So my fantastic locations, I don't really have a fantastic location, but the Blind Bedouin is a tavern, and it's not really going to be anything unique. The tavern owner he is a halfling who came here from somewhere else and doesn't know how he got here and doesn't remember his life before. But in actuality, he was the first mate on a pirate ship, and his captain is still stranded on the in the barrier islands behind the veil. But doesn't remember who he is. But there will be the Thieves Guild, and I've already written some stuff about the Thieves Guild if we get there. So, I mean, and the real fantastic location is, and I've already designed it, it's already ready to go, is the Sphinx's Island. So that's the main one there. All right, guys, I think I've made a lot of progress. That's really what I had in store for today, was just designing that encounter and trying to figure out all of that. You know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to put a little skill challenge. Excuse me, element in here. And I need to reorganize this page because it's really kind of stream of consciousness. Okay, I'm going to put a skill challenge element. Just if they can they use a skill to navigate the crowd without losing speed. I'll give them that option. Of course, if they can get into the back alleys, then they can move around a little more. So, all right. Let's, I'm going to go ahead and, oh, that's the wrong screen. I'm going to go ahead and call it a prep session. So thanks for joining me. Don't forget to check out Short Rest Studios on YouTube. Check out patreon.com/shortreststudios if you want to know how to support this channel. I really appreciate it. And again, if you join the Adventurers Guild on Patreon at the Adventurer tier, the highest tier, for another week until March 22nd, you can still get it for half price. So it's about $5, and you get my full campaign notebook. So as part of that package. So thank you so much for joining me this evening. Don't forget to go check out my latest video on YouTube and go out there and have an adventure. I'll see you Wednesday night. I'm playing some Baldur's Gate 3, so come hang out with me. Take care. Oh, now my mouse has disappeared again. There we go. Take care, guys.